Hello, and welcome to our Education 435 final video presentation. My name is Noah Ferguson-Lozier, and I am a part of the Popular Culture and Literacy Working Group. Along with me to present this video are Matthew Conley, Serene L.Chikfi, and Adam L.Kishen. Focusing on the importance of popular culture in the classroom, we decided to design an engaging activity for grade 12 English 30 class that we believe will increase motivation and engagement while also addressing the needs of each unique individual learner in the classroom. The specifics of this activity will be presented in the teacher-to-teacher style that allows them to understand the rationale for the activity, the significance of the incorporation of popular culture, and how to introduce or potentially carry out the activity in a classroom. The activity asks students to form partners or groups of 3 and then create a website for their choice of popular culture and then present it to the class. Our rationale for the creation of this activity is as follows. This activity allows for differentiation in students' learning, given opportunity for agency in their work, resulting in inclusivity in the classroom. Through the incorporation of popular culture and technology in the classroom, students have the opportunity to expand on their own personal interests or hobbies, ultimately resulting in stronger engagement and higher learning motivation. To discuss our activity developments in more depth, I will now pass it on to Matthew.
Thank you, Noah. In terms of the activity, students have the choice of choosing their own form of popular culture. These include movies, albums, novels or graphic novels, poems, songs, short stories, and TV shows. If students decide to choose a movie or a TV show, they will be required to choose a specific scene to present to the class. If students select a novel or a graphic novel or a short story, they will be required to select either a page, a couple of pages, or an entire chapter to present to the class. If students select a song or a poem, they will be required to pick out specific verses from that song or poem to present to the class. After students have selected their form of popular culture and their specific piece from it, the next step is building the website. First, the teacher will demonstrate to the class how to design a website using the Wix program. Next, the teacher will explain the specific parts that need to be included in the activity. Students will then choose their own partners or form a group of 3 where they will find common interests and decide which form of popular culture they want to showcase. The website needs to include an autobiography of the writer, authors, illustrators, artists, or directors, and include a rationale and a dissection and annotation of their chosen work. In addition, students can include images while displaying their own unique styles and creativity. Students will then present their website in front of the class to their peers. These presentations will be 5 minutes in length, require the use of the projector or smartboard, and the participation of each group member. As we will continue to explore, there are many benefits of doing an assignment like this. It is important to understand that popular culture plays a significant and dominating role in the lives of students outside of the classroom. With its wide range of forms, popular culture is effective in not only capturing individual interest, but also having the potential to dramatically increase one's motivation, engagement, and passion for a topic. This results in strengthened literacy skills because students become more motivated to engage with literature on a deeper level. Because of its prevalence in the lives of students, teachers should be considering ways to incorporate popular culture into the classroom to make learning more meaningful and impactful for students. To reinforce its importance, page 2012 mentions that, as educators begin to understand and embrace using popular culture text to make a connection to school-based learning, benefits for the students occur. These benefits come from an enhanced level of engagement and, as page 2012 describes, contributes to meaningful learning because it takes something that is authentic and engaging to students and links it to the lessons in the classroom, thus enhancing their knowledge. Although many classrooms may ignore this holistic approach to children's literacy acquisition that capitalizes on popular culture text for a more structured, school-based form of teaching literacy, we as a group believe that this inescapable influence of popular culture needs to be utilized in the classroom for meaningful learning to occur. Page 154. We believe that this activity not only increases engagement in the classroom, but also allows educators to take a step away from the demands of the curriculum and engage with youth on a level that is relevant to their daily experiences. Sheehan, 2014, page 93. With that said, every form of popular culture has its own attributes in terms of literacy development. In fact, graphic novels are a form of popular culture that students can select for this activity, a form that has become increasingly more popular in the lives of students. One of the major benefits of a graphic novel is reflected in its ability to capture and maintain student attention and interest, demonstrating its potential to become an effective form of literature in the classroom. Choosing to talk about, annotate, and dissect part of a graphic novel is accepted for this activity and should be embraced by teachers because of their ability to progress students' literacy skills. What makes graphic novels successful are not only their ability to maintain attention, but their ability to use both words and pictures to augment the story. This allows graphic novels to be more of a leisure read, which could potentially aid in both vocabulary development and English learning. As previously mentioned, engagement in the classroom is essential for meaningful learning to occur and relies heavily on a student's motivation to participate. Allowing students to select a graphic novel for this activity has the potential to both increase their motivation to participate while also, as Griffith 2010 mentions, help them develop literacy and comprehension skills in the process. If students decide to select this form of popular culture for the activity, they will then have the opportunity to express to the rest of the class why they have decided to choose this novel while also talking about the specific things they liked about it. They are given the freedom to select whatever pages they want from the novel and explain either the importance, significance, or meaning behind the writing they have chosen. For example, a student may select a specific graphic novel that they have read or really enjoyed and will then pick a few pages to include in their website. Giving students the freedom to select pages is important because it allows them to engage in the activity in a more meaningful, authentic, and genuine way. Letting students talk about something that interests them instead of explicitly telling them what to write allows them to become the expert on the topic they choose, increase their motivation, passion, or productivity, and even develop important learning skills in the process. Popular culture has many other forms, all of which promote literacy development. My partner Adam will provide an exceptional example on the use of popular culture to develop relationships and connections to community, specifically through the Indigenous culture.
Thank you, Matthew. The use of music has allowed many youth to connect with their own culture as well as others around the world. In fact, there is an international hip-hop culture known as the Global Hip-Hop Nation, which is a multilingual, multi-ethnic nation with an international reach, a fluid capacity to cross borders, and a reluctance to adhere to the geopolitical givens of the present. Cheyenne, 2014, page 93. Further, the expression of oneself through the use of hip-hop has been embraced by many colonized people around the world, and more specifically, has united Indigenous cultures' past and present conditions because of its adaptable sounds and style and its close connections to communities around the world. Cheyenne, 2014, page 90. For example, emerging Indigenous hip-hop groups such as Winnipeg's Most write songs that reflect their lives as young Indigenous men in Canada. Many young Indigenous and non-Indigenous people have begun listening to their music as their popularity grows at a rapid pace. It may be asked, how would this look in the classroom? In relation to our activity, students can analyze and incorporate Indigenous artists and authors in their work in order to be introduced to new key ideas and concepts to further their literacy. For example, students can explore books such as Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe and The Mayor of Thebes by Cherry Demaline. These fictional texts are written by Indigenous authors who discuss stories through an Indigenous perspective. Students can also explore non-fictional texts such as A Cry from an Indian Wife, written by Pauline Johnson. If used in our activity, students will have agency through the opportunity to explore key ideas and concepts within Indigenous culture without having to learn them from the standardized model. That is, a teacher simply talking to the class about the history of Indigenous peoples or the use of a textbook. Further, it also reinforces the reliability of the sources as the authors themselves are Indigenous, ensuring their perspective is an accurate one. It is also important to note that in the activity, students must write an author biography on their website. If a student uses an Indigenous author, it will foster close reading and will ultimately assist the student in their writing. All in all, the incorporation of Indigenous popular culture in the assignment will allow students to become both literate in Indigenous culture, as well as reading and writing skills. It gives students agency and an opportunity to explore new perspectives to foster deep learning. I would like to pass on the discussion to my peer, Noah, who will explain the effectiveness of this activity as it is all-inclusive for English language learners.
Thank you, Adam. Now, throughout our understandings, popular culture texts have many ways of benefiting students' abilities in the classroom. English language learners are students who are relatively new to the English language and would want to develop more efficiently their writing, speech, and reading. It's important to support ELL with this activity. Learning about a new language requires hard work and dedication. The technical complexities of learning English as a second language can take a while for ELLs to comprehend. Within the government-issued handbook for educating students in Alberta, for most of these learners, basic interpersonal communication skills takes about 2 to 3 years to develop, while academic language proficiency can take 5 to 7 years. The results demonstrate that English language learners who use popular culture texts enhance their ability to understand the lessons and build their knowledge of school-based learning. While reading the article, Gifted English Language Learners, written by L. Page 2012, we can distinguish that different forms of popular culture can beneficially increase the help in educational development and knowledge building of English language learners. This activity will allow students to express themselves about who they are, what they can do, and how they can relate to the other students in the classroom. Now, how can we incorporate popular culture text for ELL in the classroom assignment? Since each student will be working in pairs or in groups of 3, they will have the help of each other to progress through their assignment. Having other students around to support your language speaking is a huge motivator for ELL to develop their vocal and literacy skills. Looking through the handbook, social acceptance is a motivator for learning a new language and can be fostered through a variety of activities and opportunities to interact with English-speaking students. This will build a teamwork exercise for the members to develop together as a group, creating a sense of community for them to appreciate. This assignment emerges itself in exploring every student's own uniqueness, experiences, and potential through the different methods of popular culture. The instructions for this activity will allow students to unravel their own cultural experiences and heritage through any form of popular culture text, as well as incorporating it within their website design. The article by Page explains that many of these literacy experiences and practices are in the context of popular culture. Popular culture texts are very relevant to ELLs to be used to gain knowledge and understanding. It's important to remember how essential popular culture texts can be to connect and establish ELL. I will be now passing the torch to my next group member, Serene, who will be discussing furthermore on the impact of popular culture through the use of online affinity spaces.
This assignment incorporates online affinity spaces as it encourages students to center their learning around a subject that they are already experts on or close to being experts on. This then allows students to be better focused as they work on understanding their chosen piece on a deeper level. This is due to the fact that the implementation of different forms of popular culture in the classroom proves to heighten student engagement, thus resulting in enhanced literacy skills. Page discusses the 6 elements of literacy, which emphasizes the importance of technology in the classroom, as most of the elements can best be integrated through the use of technology. This is applicable to our assignment as it allows for students to explore their literacy skills and enhance them not only in terms of reading, writing, and speaking, but also in terms of their efficiency with technology. By incorporating online affinity spaces in the classroom, the text/visual representations being implemented are entirely the students' choice, so their engagement with the text is completely voluntary, thus ensuring higher investment, and this proves to give students a greater foundation for literacy. This moves us into discussion of what it means and looks like for learners to be authentic participants. To be an authentic participant is to center your learning around your own inquiry. Authentic participation is the grounds for deep and meaningful classroom discussion, and in having a classroom where students are comfortable with authentic participation is also what makes them comfortable in presenting their more individualized thoughts and findings to their peers. Page outlines that one of the 6 elements of literacy is speaking, so this would help students better their presentation skills, whether conversation entails small working group discussions, entire class discussions, or student-to-peer presentations. This assignment essentially entails that the student create the basis for what could become an online affinity space, or at least a space for learners who share the same interests to come and explore. This assignment is most applicable to students in the grade 8 to 12 range. This activity would have to be altered in a way to ensure that there is not too much distraction and students having so much choice over the piece they want to work with. This might entail the teacher having a list of options for the students, that the students get to have some say in. This way, the students still get to choose pieces that interest them outside of the classroom and bring popular culture in, but their options are more controlled so that the takeaway from this assignment is strengthen literacy skills. Students may have less options in the form of text they choose to use in lower grade levels, narrowing it down to either a few pages from a graphic novel, a short story, or a poem. By narrowing down the options, the teacher is able to assess the students' skills more concretely for younger grades. Further, having narrowed down options can also ensure that the students do not focus too much on which text they're going to use and more on the actual closer reading aspect. This is applicable to those grade levels as it will ensure higher student engagement and more concrete results in student strength and literacy skills, as bringing in any form of student choice into their learning, especially in the form of popular culture, creates an environment in which the student feels capable of achieving more. This assignment would have to be altered greatly in order to apply it in classrooms outside of an English or language class. For example, in a science class, students would follow the same idea of using a form of popular culture, but instead of having an online affinity space to share ideas, it can be a physical one, such as building a Rube Goldberg machine to show classmates and discuss. Either way, in allowing students to bring some piece of popular culture that they have an interest in into any classroom, the student will automatically feel more inclined to engage. Outside of an English classroom, the references would also be cited in a different format, where the teacher's focus would be MLA in an English setting. The focus for another class would be APA or Chicago. I would like to pass it back to Adam to discuss the pedagogical strategies within this learning task.
Thank you, Serene. This activity contains multiple pedagogical strategies that are known to be exceptionally effective in literacy development. The pedagogical strategies that can emerge from this activity are visualization, differentiation, and the use of technology in the classroom. To begin the development stage of this assignment, visualization is an important pedagogical strategy for teachers and students to encompass. The educator illustrates a clear picture for the students to work on as a group. The incorporation of popular culture text enables the students to showcase their personalities, their interests, and what their passions are on a larger screen for everyone to observe. Using various methods and modes of communication such as visuals and audio support students in their language and literacy development. Flint et al., 2018, page 510. The presentation of each group's choice of popular culture through a website and then projected to the class via smartboard or video projector allows the other students to learn about something new to explore. Further, differentiation is another key pedagogical strategy used in this assignment. In fact, effective instruction that is differentiated must be provided to meet individual needs. Brown, 2014, page 36. Differentiation also allows for agency among the students, which in turn fosters inclusivity. Giving students the choice to present their knowledge and understanding in a way that they can understand will motivate them to engage further into the content. It also allows ELL students to effectively build upon their literacy skills as they are able to work with aspects that reflect the background information they themselves are familiar with. Lastly, incorporating technology into teaching has the ability to effectively engage students while also progressing their digital age skills. For this activity, students will gain competency in creating a unique online space that becomes both individualized and informative. Interacting with technology and allowing the use of technology in the classroom can lead to an increase in motivation while also resulting in more productivity from students. According to the International Society for Technology in Education, using technology in the classroom may present some added noise or complications, but the payoff is increased student engagement, work quality, and depth of learning. In summary, the incorporation of popular culture into this activity will ensure prominent literacy development among students. It will foster engagement and maintain interest through the promotion of agency and inclusivity. All students will be able to develop their understanding as the activity can be easily modified to fit the needs of every student. Overall, as a group, we believe that this activity not only increases engagement in the classroom, but will result in more meaningful, long-lasting learning and the further progression of literacy skills. We have formulated a concept map to highlight how popular culture significantly and effectively strengthens the 6 literacy skills, that is, visual representation, writing, speaking, viewing, reading, and listening. If you wish, you can refer to our rationale to view more in depth on how each of these literacy skills can be developed adequately through popular culture in their own way.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. I hope you have learned more clearly about the importance of popular culture within the classroom. To view any source we have referenced, including both photos and in-text citations, please see the following resources slides.